CJ Stroud's meteoric rise with the Houston Texans began the moment his name was called out on stage. He immediately thrust his name into the league's elite, but what do they really think of him? Does he actually truly belong there? Because, honestly, CJ Stroud is keen to learn and ready to absorb everything he could, as Stroud looked upon some of the biggest names to ever play the game. And plenty of them have got a lot of opinions that they're not so shy to share about him. This is what NFL players actually think about CJ Stroud. Now, coming into his rookie season, Stroud rivaled the greatest rookie quarterbacks we've ever seen, and had he played the full year, he may have broken Andrew Luck's record for the most passing yards by a first-year quarterback. He was named the Offensive Rookie of the Year, and the Texans were ready to go all in with a Super Bowl window opening right in front of them. With the help of fellow rookie Tank Dell and the emergence of Nico Collins, Stroud far surpassed the expectations set for him in year one, going 10-7 and winning a playoff game in what was supposed to be a building block year for the future. Nico Collins in particular joined the league as one of the elite receivers in the game right now. Even when doubled, he can be a handful, and his connection with Stroud plays a major part in that success. And when he was asked about Stroud's arrival and the way he communicated, Collins noted all of this.
What's the most impressive thing about CJ Stroud?
Everything. Ball placement, man, his IQ, his reading the defenses, moving defenders with his eyes. Just so, because he knows where he's going with the ball, but if the defender right there, just showing the defender, where not to go. Just you could tell like they bring that it factor with him. Ever since we drafted him, man, you could tell, he got that dog with him. You'll run through a wall for CJ. Sure, man. This dude's gonna leave it all out there for you. And we'll do the same for him.
Tank Dell's spot on the Texans roster also may have had to do a little bit with CJ Stroud also. He communicated to the team that he liked the talented receiver as a piece for the offense, and mere moments after they drafted him. Dell, who was the standout star for the Houston Cougars right down the street, was then drafted by the Texans in the 3rd round, teaming up with CJ Stroud as a part of the same rookie class. His rookie year, Dell was flying with 3 100-yard plus games, including a dominant 8-catch, 149-yard, and a touchdown game against the Arizona Cardinals. Had it not been for a lower leg injury that cost him the rest of that year, Dell likely would have cleared 1,000 yards in his first season in the league, and as we all saw last week with his gruesome injury, we are hoping a speedy recovery to Tank Dell. For his thoughts on Stroud though, he's extremely grateful for CJ and what he's done for his own career, explaining that his quarterback is all of this.
He understands me as outside of football, just as a human being and as a person. And then I understand him, we be having some deep conversations and things like that. And then on the field, we connect, feel like we the best of friends when we on the field. So it's just like that, man. We just connect well with each other.
Of course, his head coach DeMeco Ryans bet his future with the franchise on CJ Stroud. Quite often, a rookie quarterback decision can make or break a brand new coaching staff, and Ryans had only just landed in Houston himself as the team's head coach. A former player in his own right, having been drafted by and spent the first several seasons of his career in a Texans uniform, DeMeco Ryans knew the importance of finding the right leader for his team. He went on to say that with CJ, the thing that stood out from the skill standpoint is that what we all saw him, he can put the ball anywhere he needs to in a very accurate manner. He then went on to also say that he did a very good job in just his demeanor, and that I think the quarterback position, when you have a calm demeanor and your teammates see that, it's a confidence. It's a calm confidence that exudes throughout the entire locker room, and that's what CJ has. And as he said further in that article too, he was saying that CJ's just rookie season was just one for the ages and quite literally set the stage for what they have and just the expectations they have now, but also that he was even more excited to see the potential of CJ's future in the NFL. Ryans believed that there was still so much his quarterback could do to improve, making for a bright future in Texas. The resurgence of the Texans also caught the eyes of some future Hall of Famers as well. None more so than the greatest player to ever wear the uniform, J.J. Watt, who collected 3 NFL Defensive Player of the Year awards in 4 seasons with the franchise.
CJ's done an unbelievable job. In his rookie year, to come in and to not only perform the way he performed, but to lead the organization the way he led it. The press conferences, the way he handles himself, the way he handles his teammates, the way he brings everybody together. DeMeco and CJ, and along with everybody else in that organization this year, have made it great for Houston Texans fans to wear their gear around town again, to be proud, to go out in public and tout their team. And I think that It doesn't surprise me. I definitely saw them being successful this season because I know who DeMeco is and I know what he was going to do. but I think it definitely surprised people outside of the organization, people outside the city. But it's a time for Houston Texans fans to be proud, and I have a feeling that's going to continue and only rise from here.
And honestly, I don't think there's a bigger name in the Texans franchise than JJ Watt. Maybe Andre Johnson, you could argue. But to have JJ Watt speaking so highly of CJ Stroud in his rookie year really does mean a lot. And just, I mean, the whole community can back up what JJ says because they all love JJ, which makes them love CJ even more. Are you looking for a new book this football season? BetUS is the answer. They have the fastest and easiest payouts in the industry, along with 24/7 personalized service, 365 days a year. Not only that, but they have live wagering on all major games, so if you see something mid-game and want to make a wager on it, you can. And the best part is you get 10% back on your net losses twice a year. And now look, you guys knew I had to come through with you guys for a promo code, so make sure that you guys are using code YouTube150 for a nice 150% deposit bonus on up to $2,000. That's right, we were doing 125%, but we said screw that, we're giving you guys 150% instead. Again, that is promo code YouTube150 for a 150% deposit bonus on up to $2,000. Again, thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video, but for now, let's hop back into it. Peyton Manning also had something to say, as he was a legend of the rival Colts organization and went on the Pat McAfee show to say now that the division kind of runs through Houston.
I mean, CJ Stroud, the way he's played this year, I mean, like the respect I have for his season, I can't describe it enough because of what my rookie season was like. I mean, I always say, well, it's tough being a rookie in the NFL. CJ Stroud's like, it doesn't look that tough. It was extremely tough for me.
And now, I mean, look, there's no love lost between the two franchises. They go to battle twice a year, and the rivalry between them shows up every single time. But Manning could see that CJ Stroud looked like he was ready for pro football the moment he stepped on the field. Having struggled mightily himself as a rookie, setting the interception record for his first year with the Colts, and then still going on to have a Hall of Fame career and win 2 Super Bowls, the sky is most certainly the limit for CJ Stroud. I mean, as a quarterback, earning the respect of other quarterbacks, it's got to mean that you're doing something right. I mean, correct, or am I wrong? Like, I mean, hell, even Tom Brady, the greatest of all time, is a huge fan of CJ, more so for the way he conducts himself within the game than for his talent as a quarterback. On the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark, Brady opened up about Stroud and why he thinks he's going to have a very long and successful career in the league.
CJ is a good example. Like, I really appreciated where he came from and all the expectations that he had, and then what he's gone and put together last year with a lot of humility. And I could see, like, when I watch quarterbacks, the first thing I watch is, does he endear himself to his teammates? What are the things that he's saying? What are the things that he's doing to endear himself to his teammates so that he does feel like one of the guys? If he wants to separate himself from the rest of the team, it's not gonna go, you're not gonna play 20 years. You can't fool people in a locker room. You can't bullshit your way through a football season.
I mean, honestly, I really do think he's right about everything he said, because CJ is already an exceptional leader in Houston. And I mean, you can just tell because they would do anything for their quarterback, and they can just tell that CJ is willing to put his body on the line for the team, that they're willing to do the same thing for him. Brady told CJ that he was proud of him on a call too, saying that he could see the fire he had within him early on in his career, which is high praise from the GOAT. Right after Thanksgiving in Stroud's rookie year, ESPN asked his left tackle and 4-time Pro Bowler Laramie Tunsil what he was thankful for, and his answer was that Thanksgiving had just passed and they asked me what I was thankful for, and I said CJ Stroud. I'm happy to have a quarterback who can make plays whenever is needed. It doesn't matter if we're down by 10, 21, it doesn't matter as long as Stroud has the ball in his hands. And I mean, like, these guys aren't just random nobodies. Tunsil has been one of the league's best left tackles since he was drafted by the Miami Dolphins back in 2016. He's been around the league for a long time and has seen multiple quarterbacks and in multiple locker rooms and a part of multiple organizations. It's like what Brady said, you can't fool these guys. Like, they're gonna know CJ better than anybody in the league, and that there's really nowhere for him too high. Like, as we all know, game recognizes game in this league, and Lamar Jackson has certainly earned the right to an opinion. The 2-time MVP is chasing down a Super Bowl ring himself, but still has time to praise the talent around him, and Lamar might have seen it before many others did. They met on the field for Stroud's very first game as a pro, which is a tough spot for any rookie, heading to M&T Bank Stadium on the road against the 2-time MVP, marking your very first experience in the league. The Ravens won that game 25-9, sending the Texans to an 0-1 record, but Stroud did hold his own. He threw for 242 yards against the Ravens defense on the road, and the two would meet there again in the divisional round of the playoffs. Stroud was 19 of 33 for 175 yards, throwing for more yardage than Lamar did in the game, but they were sent home by Baltimore. But at the end of the game also, Lamar grabbed Stroud and said this.
Hey,
Go win it all, bro. Everybody's just beginning for you, cuz. Feel me? You gonna beat him.
Stroud responded with a yes sir before telling Lamar to go win it all. Clearly an admirer of Lamar's game, he asked for a jersey and the two shared a moment and went back to business. I mean, as we all know, both are chasing rings this year, one more successfully than the other, you could say, but both have already achieved a great deal of achievements in the NFL already. One man who has also crossed the threshold from a fine individual talent with plenty of accolades into a multi-Super Bowl champion is Patrick Mahomes. The league's very best in recent years, Mahomes has seen it all. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings before he turns 30, 3 Super Bowl MVPs in those games, 2 league MVPs, and a whole host of other accolades to make for a stunning resume. And yet, one of his favorite players to watch is CJ Stroud.
I like watching CJ Stroud a lot now, man. He's been out there and he's making plays happen. And then I would say probably Joe. I mean, just because I watch we play the same teams, and so watching him play definitely gives me some ideas of what we can do as an offense. And
Mahomes has actually been watching Stroud for a while too, having an eye on what he was doing when he was balling out at Ohio State. Like when CJ ever went out and put out one of the best performances in college football had ever seen, Mahomes was watching and went out and tweeted this during the game: 6 touchdowns, 400 yards, 2 incompletions in the first half. And if you don't know, Stroud was destroying Michigan State that afternoon, and the league's elite had just seen it for themselves. Now making plays in the NFL though, Stroud was voted 20th in the NFL's top 100 his rookie year. Several of his teammates at the time, including pass rusher Jonathan Greenyard, who saw CJ every day at practice, believed he should be number 1. Shaq Mason echoed the point from the offensive line, while other players around the league also voted on him number 1.
To see what he's done with this team and just how he's changed the whole culture and gave the city hope, you know, having a guy like him who can go put points on the board.
And to what Greenyard is saying, he's already done enough to be number 1. Others categorized him with Lamar Jackson as the 2 most influential quarterbacks in the game. Colts linebacker and leader of the defense Zaire Franklin saw it firsthand twice. The Colts won that first game, but Stroud did come back and get his revenge in the return. And even during the interview for the top 100, Franklin was impressed.
He kind of just let the fears and the worries of a normal rookie quarterback that they go through, he let them go and just started firing them. And, you know, it was a couple of throws and a couple of plays that he made, kind of thought to myself, like, man, I don't feel like I'm playing against a rookie.
Many believe that the rookie season CJ Stroud had, the way he helped to turn the Texans around and winning a playoff game in his first year as a pro, warranted at least conversation for the MVP. Which, I mean, that's pretty unheard of because no rookie has won the MVP of the league since Jim Brown did it in 1957. But the debate took the main stage all over the mainstream media, and Dan Orlovsky believed he deserved to be there.
Does Stroud belong in the MVP conversation?
100% yes, and I'm going to give you the reasons. If you just took anybody else's name, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, whoever, they would be in the MVP conversation. I don't care if he's a rookie.
He believes Stroud's accomplishments and performances on the field were being undermined simply because he was a rookie, and rookies don't win the MVP. And yes, although he didn't come away with the award in year 1, he certainly looks capable of winning it in the future. And to even be named among the elite in the MVP conversation as a rookie is an achievement in itself. As we all know, he did go on to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year though, and was named to the Pro Bowl too. Not only that, but his list of NFL records is pretty spectacular too. He's the youngest quarterback to ever win a playoff game at just 22 years old in 3 months. He has the record for the most passing attempts without throwing an interception to start an NFL career, tied for the most games throwing 350 plus yards your rookie year. He has the most passing yards and touchdowns in a single game by a rookie ever, throwing for 470 and 5 touchdowns against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a wild performance that saw the Texans win 39-37. Oh, and he set several franchise records in Houston at the same time. Like, it's safe to say that CJ Stroud is special, and the guys around the league could see it immediately. So many have praised the way he plays, but a common theme within those conversations focuses more on the way he carries himself, cares for his teammates, and is a huge leader. Jackson Smith and Jigba summed it up perfectly while featuring on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams, as the two played together at Ohio State, and Stroud was responsible for JSN's impressive 2021 season that led him being a first-round draft pick.
It takes this much to maybe move a guy up or down. Talk to everybody out there and tell them about CJ Stroud and what kind of quarterback he'll be in the NFL.
CJ Stroud's going to be a great, I mean, besides the arm talent, besides, you know, all that, you know, he's always the smartest guy on the field. And, you know, playing with him and his leadership and, you know, he knows how to lead a team and he knows how to get things done.
I mean, there's no doubt about his performance from last year, and now that they're going to be in the playoffs this year, it's only the beginning. The ink is barely dry on the very beginning of his NFL story, and there are many more pages to fill it. And if you want to see exactly what NFL players think about Jordan Love, then click this video right here.